Hello, hello, hello. It is July 1. Oh, and it looks like my little feed, I didn't update as much as I should have. I think it still says June 1. I did change part of it. So, how's everybody doing? As I said in my little welcome, it's sort of a hot day for us here. Um, we've had quite a few chilly days and it's very comfortable now, but all of a sudden the western sun comes in, which you can see, and heats up the place. So I don't have the air conditioner on, but I'm thinking about it. So, and of course, for any of you in hot weather places who have pets, you know that when it's hot, the little guys want to sit on you, and even the big guys want to sit on you. Huh, Duncan? Yeah, I think he's going to probably pass out and go to sleep right here. So, yep, I fixed it. So welcome. Thank you for spending some time with me on a summer evening. So I have noticed that no matter where you live, it seems like summer activities really impact our show, but I still think I want to keep it every first of the month. But we'll see. I had planned on adding a second show, but I didn't do that in May, and I didn't do that I did it in May, but I didn't do it in June. So if you were new, here's the format. At 10 minutes after, we're going to do what's called the healing pulse. And the healing pulse is unique because the energy goes exactly where you direct it to go. It is a healing tool that I created, and I like it because it's different than a lot of other healing tools. Most people know right away if it's going to help them or not. And so after that, we'll work on individual healing. So if you've got something you want to work on, if you are familiar with the work by Dr. Bradley Nelson called the Emotion Code, I base a lot of my emotion work on that with trapped emotions. But like most things that I do, once I learn a tool, then I'll tweak it and make it my own. And so we'll do 3 healing pulses tonight, and then we'll do the individual work. What else we do sort of depends on how many people show up and what kind of time frame we have. I sort of think tonight's going to be a late night, which means that the people here will do probably a few extra things, which is sort of cool. And usually we end with something called aura strengthening, which is something that is extremely helpful in this negative world. It helps you stay positive. So in a couple minutes, we will start with our first healing pulse. And so I've got to decide what, I think I'm going to use my big emotion list, which has like 400 negative emotions. So I'll use that. And then here is my little book that I keep track. So like tonight is show number 177. And this is where I will write down your name and what we're working on, and then the underlying reason for what's going on. And so let's get started. And so with the healing pulse, you'll be using your own personal healing frequencies plus mine. So I want you to think about where you want to receive the energy. Do you have some physical pain or discomfort? Do you have something emotional going on? If you have something emotional, do you feel that in your body? Like, do you feel like anger in the pit of your stomach? Or do you have trouble communicating? So you're maybe your throat gets dry or your mouth gets dry or you just can't get the words out. So think about where you want to receive the energy and rub your hands together. And then place your hands exactly where you want to receive the energy. Imagine my hands are on yours. And then the most important part is just to allow. And so allow the energy to flow. Imagine with each breath in, you are allowing it to go deeper. With each breath out, you are releasing. So just breathing in and breathing out. If you benefit from doing breath work, this is the perfect time to incorporate like a box breath or one of your other favorite breaths. And so just breathe those energies in and just release what you need to release. And just be open and allowing. So with this, especially like tonight, we'll do 3 healing pulses. Usually healing pulse number 2 and 3, people say are the most powerful. Okay, so that was healing pulse number 1. Let me know how that was for you. And so with this, I've had a few months where we have had some issues with Facebook, some issues with audio. When I look at my little tests that I do before I start, everything says I'm going good. But I did a whole little 20-minute mini show where I didn't have audio. So if you can hear me, can you just put a yes in the comments? Because that would be very sad if we did a whole show and you couldn't hear me. Or it seems like Facebook has more issues than YouTube, so I guess we'll see. Okay. I'm not sure how you say your name. Fafa? But welcome. Welcome, everyone. And there's Jacqueline, too. So thank you for confirming that. Sad we have to do that, so because especially I pay for this streaming service that's supposed to make it easier, but sometimes it's harder. So welcome. Right now we're going to do some individual healing. And so if you've got something that you want to work on, so this can be, emotional, you can tell me I'm just feeling extra sad, or I've got knee pain, or let me know what's going on, and we'll see if there's any trapped emotions that are contributing towards that. Now, with trapped emotions, sometimes I've seen miracles happen, but that's usually more unusual because typically it's not just one trapped emotion. You've got layers of trapped emotions. But if this is your first time here, it's a fabulous start. So don't you love that sun coming through? So if I close the blinds 100%, there's no breeze, and there's a nice breeze outside. So, okay, so Jacqueline, you're going to be first on the list. Okay. So Jacqueline, especially with you've got pain in your right leg bones. So that is a perfect place to send the healing pulse. So if you didn't do that for healing pulse number 1, I want the next 2 for you to do that. Right leg. Okay. So where's the list? So let's see. So what I'm going to do is look to see if there's trapped emotions that are playing a role in this. And I do get yes when I ask about that. Let's see. And so then I'll come back with an emotion and usually an age. And the age usually reflects some type of event. All right, Jacqueline. So I've got the trapped emotion. It's a word I don't think I've ever used. So I'm going to look it up and see if my definition is accurate, because I don't know if I've ever heard anyone else use it. Okay. So, Jacqueline, the trapped emotion is reprove. No, it's reprove. So it means to scold or correct, usually gently or with kindly intent. Here's another one: to criticize or correct someone, usually in a gentle way, often with the intent to help them improve. It can also imply expressing disapproval of someone's behavior. And so this is something from when you were about 19. Now, ages are the hardest thing. So usually I'm within about a year. So somewhere 18, 19, 20. So Jacqueline, does some type of circumstance or event, does this ring a bell with you? And so I'm going to go ahead and release and remove. So those of you who have been here before, I always ask for your assistance, because I think the healing is only better if you don't have healing in your background. If you do say prayers or intentions, then ask that through prayer or intention, that trapped emotion release. So I'm going to release reproof for Jacqueline. And then it looks like I'm missing a few messages. So I'll go back through. Some familiar names. So welcome back. Some new people, welcome. Okay, so Jacqueline did get that to release. Let me go back and check messages here. Okay, so there's Jennifer. All right, so. Oh, Jacqueline, that's so hard. I'm sorry. I know in some cultures that's okay, but here in the US, that's just, there's so much choice that we're supposed to have. So I'm sorry that happened to you. Oh, and you were young, 19. So, so this will help take a layer of those energies away. So I'm just making a list of people. So Jennifer's got some back pain. And so Jennifer, in about 10 minutes, we're going to do our next healing pulse. And I'm hoping that will help you at least a little bit, take the edge off. Oh, there's Marina, my favorite Croatian. And back home for a little bit. So I'm going to put down Marina, new job, new great job. So Ephatha, I know I'm not saying that right. I'm sorry. So I'm just going to call you E, because I'd rather call you E. Son diagnosed with cancer 2 months ago. That is horrible. I'm so sorry. Looking for confidence and guidance. Best and highest outcome. Yes, especially with this. You need to be extra strong. So we're going to put confidence, guidance. I'm going to add strength to this. And I'm glad you're here because we'll help give you strength, but you need to show that for your son. I'm just, oh, that's awful. All right, so RS, ooh, you got a bee sting. Once I get through my list, then we'll go back to doing things. Okay, so RS Fitness, Pinky. Welcome, Harmonious. So I'm going to add abundance of finances. Okay, so Harmonious. We're also going to add new good job. Okay, I think I've got everybody. If for some reason I missed someone, I'm so sorry. I definitely need an assistant some days. So if I missed you, let me know. Currently on deck, we've got Jennifer next, and then Marina, and then E. All right, so Jennifer's got some back issues. So let's see. And then Jacqueline, I want you to walk around the room a little bit. I want to know, did the trapped motion, did that take the edge off your leg pain even a little bit? Because what we're doing is with each layer, I'm hoping that things get better, especially physical. Okay, so I need to get it to a different page. All right, Jennifer, it's the word deprived. Let me get an age and see. Yes, I did get you Harmonious. So I'm working on Jennifer now, and then Marina and E, and then RS Fitness, and then Harmonious. Okay, so I'm getting an age for deprived for Jennifer. So I'm getting deprived for Jennifer around age 23. So somewhere 22, 23, 24, somewhere in there. Good, Jacqueline. We're going to keep working on that. So releasing and removing deprived for Jennifer. And if you've just come in and we're working on you and you're a healer, help me release this. If you're not a healer, say an intention, say a prayer, because anything's improved with your own assistance. Okay, so that did release. All right, Jennifer, so stretch and move a little bit and see if that helps your back. Marina's looking for a new job. So let's see. Marina's in Croatia. She's also a boat captain, which is very cool. All right, Marina, I get the word smothered. Let me get an age for this. So I'm getting this is around age 24, Marina. So somewhere 23, 24, 25. Ooh, look at that band across my neck. I probably should take a picture and do some type of cool image with chakras and stuff. Very cool, huh? So, sorry. Sort of like there was a squirrel that ran across the screen. Get a little distracted. So with this, so we're going to release and remove smothered from Marina. And Marina is going to help me with this. And so releasing and removing smothered from Marina. And we'll just see how you feel, Marina. So with this, sometimes you'll actually be able to know what was going on. You are welcome, Marina. All right, so E. So we're working on confidence, guidance, and strength to get your son through this health crisis. Gosh, 19, that's just terrible. So let's see. So I'm going to word this to see if there is a trapped emotion that if we release it will help bring you strength and confidence and feel more guided. I know sometimes things like that can block us. And it's the energy of being helpless. So that's definitely not helpful because it makes you feel more helpless, because especially in this situation, there are times when you are helpless. So let me get an age for you, E. Right. Wow, this is from when you were little. You were like 7. So somewhere 6, 7, 8, somewhere in there, there was something going on that you felt totally helpless. All right, so we're going to release and remove that. So please assist me in that. So releasing and remove the helpless for E. So that did release. Oh, and there's Anne. Welcome back, Anne. Yep, stress can cause so many terrible things. All right, let's do our next healing pulse. And so especially you with physical things. So Jacqueline, Jennifer, RS, and Anne. I want you to think about where is it most helpful for you to receive the healing pulse. So like Anne, either I want you to focus on your heart or think about where does that stress start? Does it start in your head? Is it more of a mental thing? Or does stress live more like in the pit of your stomach? And so those are the places where physically you want to send it. Now, if you've got emotional things, like, so you want to strengthen confidence, guidance, uh, and just being strong. Where does that live within you? Is that something based in your heart? Because this also is so connected to the love of your son. How can we make that stronger? So that might be something that you would send to your heart. All right, so rub your hands together. And I want you to place your hands exactly where you want to receive the energy. Imagine my hands on yours. You're getting my healing frequencies plus yours. And the most important part is just allowing the energy to flow. So just imagine with each breath in, you're receiving healing. With each breath, it's going a little deeper, a little further. With each breath out, you are releasing. So in, healing, out and releasing. Just allow and being open to this. Okay, so that was healing pulse number 2. Usually people do better with healing pulse number 2 compared to number 1. So let me know how you did. All right, so RS Fitness. I've got a bee sting. So let's see. Is there anything contributing to that emotionally? No. Okay, we're going to try something. Okay, RS, put your little pinky up. This is going to be a little different than the healing pulse. But what I'm going to imagine is that we're going to work to pull the venom out, but at the same time increase the circulation. And so RS, focus on that. So starting to send now. So I'm going to start like at the base of your pinky, just starting to send energy. And I'm pulling up and grabbing that loose energy of the venom. And as the venom releases, we're going to fill it with healing. Okay, starting again on the base, pulling up, grabbing loose energy venom, filling up your finger with healing. So with this, I just imagine that your finger is just so stiff because it's so swelled up. So with this, it's going to take a little while to get the swelling down, but I'm hoping that the healing helps make it more flexible. All right, RS, let me know how we did. All right, harmonious. Let's see. So you've got a few things: abundance and finances and a new job. So let's see what's the first thing. Okay, we should focus on the job. So we're going to see if there's any trapped emotions that are contributing to not getting the right job. And I do get a yes. Okay. So I'm getting the word demoralize. Let me get an age for this and see if this makes sense, harmonious. So I'm getting this is from when you were about 20. Sorry, that sun is just warm. Wow, Jennifer. Jennifer has the coolest little comment. So she's on Facebook, so it doesn't stay on the screen for very long, but she's had some back problems and pain. So look, feels so much better already. I can bend, walk without extreme pain. Pain went from a 7 to a 2. Thank you so much. Wow. So when it does work and there's not multiple layers, it can be really magical. I love that when that happens. So thank you for sharing. So harmonious, we're going to release and remove that time when you were about 20, 19, 20, 21, where you just felt demonized. So we're going to release and remove. And so what I imagine what this will do is releasing this will give you more confidence. And so especially when you're interviewing, being more confident is much more helpful. Okay, so I'm getting that release. Harmonious does say that that rings a bell with what went on during that time. Ooh, and E said, felt energy over my heart. Ooh, that's also where the mass is. Okay. Ugh. Thank you for that feedback, E. Greatly appreciated. Okay, and let's see. Crazy lights that coming through. Yes, it's definitely midsummer. I didn't realize you were in New Zealand, Anne. That's cool. All right, so we're going to see if there is a trapped emotion playing a role. And so with this, stress can be a huge trigger, but also trapped emotions. And unfortunately, the older you get, if there are things from your youth that you haven't dealt with, it makes it easier to have chronic conditions. I deal with high blood pressure myself, and so I've been working on, going back and reviewing things and trying to clear things that I just thought I had dealt with, but sometimes I just tapped them down. I didn't really deal with them. So let's see what comes up for Anne and see if this can at least help release a layer. Oh, nice, RS. So RS has the bee sting, and she called her little pinky a sausage. So she's like, It's amazing how much better it feels. And yes, it's more bendable too. Very nice. Thank you. I love the feedback. So thank you. Thank you. All right. And I'm getting the word neglected. Let's find an age. Getting around 18 and so 17, 18, 19, somewhere in there, neglected. Okay, Anne, thank you for that feedback. Since it's sort of a quiet night and there's only about 9 of you, we might do some other things too. So let's release and remove the energy of feeling neglected around age 18 or so, Anne. So releasing and removing. So that did release. So there's something about that that's affected your heart. It's the neglect and the lack of love that's played a bit of a role. And sometimes other health conditions can trigger things. So I'm wondering if sounds like you've had a few things change in the last few years, Anne. So let's do our third healing pulse. And then we might do a couple other things that we don't normally do just because it's a quiet night. So stick around. All right, so let's do our third healing pulse. So with this, rub your hands together and place your hands exactly where you want to receive the energy. And E says I froze. I'm hoping that it was just a small little freeze. So place your hands exactly where you want to receive the healing energy. And just allow. So, and as I said earlier, but if you might have missed it, if you are a fan of different breathing techniques, this is a good time to do the breathing techniques. Sometimes I recommend the box breath, but if you've got enough that you enjoy doing, go ahead and do that now. So with that, when you breathe in, imagine the healing going in. But when you breathe out, imagine you are releasing, letting go. And these energies, maybe they're yours, maybe they're not even yours. Maybe there's something that you took on for someone else. But imagine that as you breathe out, you're releasing. So breathe in, breathe out. Okay, so that was healing pulse number 3. So let me know how you did, because usually the second and third healing pulses are the most powerful, especially you guys that having some physical things, like Jacqueline and RS and Jennifer and even Anne. All right, so we're gonna do, I think we're gonna do this. So this is one of my tools I use during a private session. I have about 30 different tools. Oh my gosh, look at that light. Isn't that crazy? I think there was a movie where the eyes were just light coming out. Oh, good. I'm glad you're good now. So with this, so I'm going to see. So this has like body parts, and like if you have issues with certain body parts, it tells oftentimes what emotional components are a problem, and then it's got different conditions with emotions that can cause that. So this is one of my 30. I like using this because I could do it on my own, but this means with this tool, I have time to do more in a healing session if I use this. So I'm going to just look up high blood pressure and see. Okay, so I don't see it there, but I'm going to check somewhere else. Just see. Okay, so it's in here. 147. Oh. Okay, so, all right, so Anne, these are things that I want you to think about, and if they resonate with you, work on releasing them. Or maybe you would want a private session. So these are things related to high blood pressure. Seething inside, feeling hurt, wanting revenge, holding onto hate, rage, and anger, feeling too much pressure, too many demands, wanting to be liked, trying to please others to get their attention and praise, pushing yourself to your limit. Now, oftentimes, some of these might ring true to you. Maybe none of them do. Usually I say if half or more ring true, then you definitely should work on healing and releasing those. So that was listed under high blood pressure. So does anyone else want me to look up something for them? Let's see if, so Jacqueline, sometimes they've got different things. So Jacqueline had right leg. Let's see. Liver, legs. Okay, so here's right leg for Jacqueline. And so this says possible contributing factors. And again, usually I say if half of the things resonate with you, then I think you should look more into healing and releasing them. So right leg has contributing factors with difficulty taking action, feeling undermined, restricted, insecure, unsupported, unsteady, moving in the wrong direction, sabotaging yourself, resisting the flow of life, not giving yourself enough time to tune in and become clear about your purpose. So that was for right leg. And so this is recorded. So Facebook keeps it for a month, YouTube keeps it forever. So if especially like Anne and Jacqueline, if there are things you want to go back and look. So RS just commented, I just learned high blood pressure, top number is linked to adrenals, bottom number linked to kidneys. Oh, that's sort of cool. Thank you, RS. Anne's feeling very calm after the healing pulse. So I'm looking at the list and just seeing if there's anyone else in here. Not really, because the back, there's spine stuff, but it's very specific. So I think maybe we'll do a group. So let's see. Wow, Jacqueline, thank you for that feedback. So that's something to work on releasing. And if you've got healing in your background, hopefully you know what to do. And if you don't, prayer, intention, sometimes that can help you release, or a private session with me. And I do free consultations. So if you want to know more about a private session, just you can book that at that csummerjones.com on the bottom of the screen. So lately I've been doing more and more with hypnosis because I do past life regressions. I'm trained in the Dolores Cannon QHHT, but I also have Candace Crow Goldman's, which is very similar to QHHT, only it's a newer energy because Dolores died 10 years ago. But doing some really interesting things with surrogate testing. My friend who is my surrogate, we've been practicing, and we have had, so it was her and her higher self come in, and then I ask questions, and then so because I'm just playing around with seeing what we can do. So she's got 2 daughters that are young adults, and so she got her permission to pull them in. So we pulled in her daughter's higher selves, and then we got her brother's permission, we pulled in her brother's higher self, and then we pulled in her ex-husband's higher self. And so we're doing all this family healing that's really amazing and cool, and we're learning so much. So it's been a little distracting, so I haven't been doing as much of the lives because it's just been, it also takes out more energy from me to do that, which I never would have thought that, but it does. So we're going to do negative beliefs for the group. So let's see how many we're going to do. So we're going to do 2. Ooh, this is a good one to get rid of. I don't exist. How many of you does that resonate with? That resonates with me sometimes. When I look in my past, there were times when I just felt invisible. So let me get a percent of how many people watching now or on the replay have I don't exist. Excuse me. All right. So I've got 80% of you at some point in time have I don't exist. So let's go ahead and release that for those of you who have this. So releasing and removing that. Okay. So we're going to do one more. Next one is I'm shameful. Let's see how many of you have that. Yes, Jacqueline. I definitely have that too. I don't exist. All right, so the next one. I'm shameful. Let's see what percent of people watching and people watching the replay have. So I'm getting 75%. So if you are familiar with the book, Power versus Force, there is a chart called LOC, although some people call it a map of consciousness. It's a level of consciousness chart. And so the higher you get, the more elevated your consciousness is. The lower you get, the more negative, dark, and hard life is. Notice shame. Can't get much lower than that. Really down low. So this will be really good to release the belief I'm shameful. So let's release and remove that. Okay, so releasing and removing I'm shameful. So does anyone have any questions? So we're going to end with or strengthen it unless anyone has any questions or want me to look into anything else. It's been a pretty quiet night, but love the feedback. So thank you. Yeah, I do feel something about the energies have been, my accuracy has really strengthened. And I can really seem to hone in. So that's pretty cool. You guys are quiet. Yeah, the last couple times have been pretty quiet. I know some of my bigger numbers, I'd hit 20. Oh, thank you, E. Yeah, years ago, somebody told me that my third eye was sewn shut by someone rather evil. So sort of crazy things that happen in our past life when we have healing and magic in our backgrounds. Okay. All right, so Jacqueline has a question. Why do I not approve of my son-in-law? Interesting. I don't generally do this type of, because normally I focus on emotions and health and healing. Let's see if we can answer that, Jacqueline. I'm going to see if there's a trapped emotion that you attribute to your son-in-law. So let's see. The word obnoxious came up, Jacqueline. Does that describe your son-in-law? That, that might be why you don't really approve of him. Is he not a very except when I think of someone who's obnoxious, I think of someone who might be narcissistic, self-absorbed, and not very nice. Possibly. Does he trigger things in you that you are working on? So that might be something. Be observant about situations around when you feel triggered, because you're right. Maybe it's not him, maybe it's you. Very interesting. Thank you for the question. I'm not very good at that part of it. It's not something I have worked on, but thank you for the question. Let's do the aura strengthening. So the important thing about having a strong aura is that it helps repel negativity. And you know, there's a lot of negativity out there now, especially nowadays, and especially online, where people think that they can just spew hate. And I know I've really had to cut back, because no matter who's saying the hateful things, or what, even if I believe in what they're saying, if they say it in a really hateful way, it just really hurts my heart. Oh, Gina's in Coeur d'Alene. Craziness in Coeur d'Alene. Just awful, Gina. Oh. Have they put out the fire that's been over there? So maybe, Jacqueline, part of your dislike is honest. But if he's married to your daughter, you really want to like him. But do some self-reflection on, what is it that triggers you? Is it something within you, or is he just because he's obnoxious and these other things? All right, so let's continue on with the aura strengthening. So with the aura strengthening, what I like to do is send the energy to your aura. But I also like to think of the aura as a nice bubble. Then I think about, what else do I need? And so let me grab my list here. So especially like E, she needs confidence, guidance, and strength. Harmonious, looking for a new job. And Marina too. Confidence, intelligence, being articulate, and let's throw in a bit of luck to find the right job. And so with this, we're going to send energy out to everyone, and then we're going to fill up your aura with what you really need. So are you ready? So with this, if you are not confident in your own healing frequencies, you can use healing pulse frequencies, but I would like you to practice using your own. So just rub your hands together. Well, thank you, E. That was very nice. And so just start sending the energy out. And I'm going to practice your name, because I look at it and I get a little flustered. So I'm going to practice your name. So when you come next month, hopefully. So for those of you who follow Honey Seek Golden, because I know that's why a lot of you come here because she posts for me. She's fabulous. But she's talked about timeline shifts and things like that. So just things are slowly getting unstuck and things are moving. So we're just sending energy to your aura. Oh, thank you, E. I think it was the two pHs together. Very cool. Thank you. All right, so what's everybody filling up their aura with? So I think I need some energy. I've been just super tired lately, and I know a lot of that has to do with things shifting and me feeling stuck, because I've felt stuck too. And maybe that's something. So this book has a little section in dealing with stuckness. Maybe we'll have to do a little something from that about being stuck. So I will be here August 1st. And if I find the energy, I'll do something in a couple weeks. And I always do it on Facebook and YouTube unless I have technical issues. And I always try and have Honey share with me. But if you're on my Facebook page or if you subscribe to YouTube, you should get notifications. So that was the aura strengthening. What did everybody use in their aura? Everybody's so quiet. So, since everyone is so quiet, I'm going to go. Thank you for being on my July 1st mini healing. I'm hoping to do another session. Oh, there's Anne commenting. You are so welcome. Thank you, Marina. I'm glad you stopped in because I know it's very late, early morning. Good night. Nice meeting some new people too. Bye. Oh, nice, Gina. Love that. Ephatha, thank you, thank you, thank you.